It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America. We are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, I got to remember.
Yeah.
We're here tomorrow, and then that's our last day this year.
Yeah.
I've got to remember. I got to tell the guillotine story. So
Yeah, you got to do that.
in a shortened version. I'm already getting reminders of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Do that tomorrow sometime.
the best Christmas gift I ever received.
Yeah. Mine was the 357. I was 8 years old. We live in Texas. And, you know, I will say this. First couple of days with it, I wasn't so proficient, but I got better. Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll have fun. It'll be good.
Now, asking where we're going next year.
Where are we going next year, Gary?
And we know the Democrats are in, because it's not really complicated. The Democrats are crazy on the issues. The public knows it, but they're not happy with prices. That's why Democrats have a chance next year. That's it. That's really it.
Yeah.
Because on the issues, if you take Trump's name out of it, still today, and just ask the issues, everything favors Republicans.
Yeah.
It does. Everything favors Republicans.
Right.
The things are of immediate, need that Americans are most concerned with. And so, I mean, that's really where we stand, and we'll see where it goes. A lot of stuff over the weekend, the Epstein files. To the public, the Epstein files is blah, 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 yada, yada, yada now.
Yeah.
It's gone on for such a long time. Yeah. The public isn't responding to it. It's like the immediacy of, okay, we've got you now, we've got him now, we've got her now, whatever. I mean, it's the whole gotcha game. We know got to the point of absurdity. What was it, a week and a half ago when the Democrats put out the one picture and basically erased all the or covered up all the women's faces, and it was a well-known photo that was already out there, and they were all adults.
Right. Yep.
And the photo had already been out there, and they were trying to put one over on the public because there isn't anything on Trump in it. But as long as Republicans say we need to redact anything, Democrats are going to pound on that over and over and over and over and over again. But this is part of the talk on CNN on that the other day. Here we go.
Scott, don't you think that because they are not releasing everything that Congress and the president signed to say you have to release this in 30 days, doesn't it give more fodder for the conspiracies that exist? I mean, they're not following the law.
Well, look, they've released how many documents tonight? 200,000? More? 400?
10% of that's
okay. So a good faith effort is being made to release files tonight.
Really?
They're obviously doing that. And I think as it relates to redactions, I mean, my impression is that there's a whole lot of names of victims in there and minors and other people that you probably wouldn't want to release, and they do need to be redacted. Regarding Bill Clinton, I'm sorry to tell you, the reason that Bill Clinton's picture is in the Epstein files is because this has always been a story about Bill Clinton and not Donald Trump. We should call it the Clinton files, not the Epstein files. That's what we're learning tonight. This is the Clinton files. This is the blowing up in the face of the Democrats over this. It's Bill Clinton. This is a story about Democrats and Bill Clinton, and it's always been that way.
Well, and we've said this is not a big needle mover. And the reason is because if there were something huge that wasn't known before, we would have learned it over the last 4 years.
Yeah, Democrats would have released it if there was stuff on Trump, and everybody knows it. The only thing that they have, and that was the premise of the initial question to Scott Jennings, was the fact that if you don't release everything, we always have that.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
There is no concern from the Democrats about protecting minors or anybody else. It's the only weapon they have. Anything you don't release must be Trump doing something wrong, even though there is zero evidence to this point that Trump did anything wrong or was involved in any of it whatsoever.
Right.
And wasn't the one that, said, hey, Epstein, get out of here. Don't want to be around you anymore.
Right.
He's the one that publicly did it. It doesn't matter. The only thing they have is if you're attempting to protect the innocent or the victims in it, then that has to be a direct line to Trump being involved in sex trafficking.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what it...
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that they have. Now, it was messed up completely because the Republicans made it such a big part of the campaign last year and said we're going to release it, and then the whole debacle with Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice and the folders outside the White House. What it showed, I think, to a lot of Republicans is the complete ineptness that you can get out of this administration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that was a cluster.
Well, it was unnecessary chaos and is still going on.
Yeah.
The fact that this thing is just still burning makes zero sense.
Well, the one file that was out, the one picture where you could see part of Trump. Uh-oh, there's Trump. What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to release it because there may be a minor or whatever, a victim in there. And then they found out, well, wait a minute. No, okay, there's nobody there. All right, we're going to release it. Well, just that itself.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, come on, just...
Right.
It's like they keep the Republicans, the administration here, and the Department of Justice is their own worst enemy day in and day out by giving, it is a Christmas present to Democrats. We just can't get anything done here, and we promise one thing and we can't get it, and then we say there's a list and there is no list. I mean, how many screw-ups did the Republicans and the Department of Justice make on this?
Well, and again, they keep trying. It's almost like they're trying to push this thing to the top every day. Why isn't anybody talking about it? I don't know, but here we go. Let's get them talking about it. It's not a needle mover.
Not to the public, it's not.
Because
no.
we're not going to learn. There's not going to be anything we're going to learn more in terms of criminal activity that might point to anybody in elected office at this moment or that has been in elected office in the past. And the whole Bill Clinton thing. All right. Well, you see what's there, and now you're going to have to, because follow it through, right? With anybody. Why didn't we learn it by now? Because if you're saying, and we get it, the Bill Clinton Association and the concerns there, but is it going to go to the point of Bill Clinton being charged with anything?
No.
Is it going to go to there's not going to be any indictments coming of this. There's not going to be anything, in fact, more coming of this, except more chaos. I'm counting on that because for some reason, when it's not stirred up, they seem to be throwing rocks and everything they can at this massive hornet's nest that otherwise, again, is a non-mover.
Well, it's a non-mover politically, not the situation itself. The situation itself was, as we all know, absolutely horrendous, and any politician that was involved in this. We know this.
Of course. That goes without saying because there are real victims here. And that's even more to the point. The fact that, there hasn't been, I believe, true justice for the victims here. There hasn't really been true justice here, but we're likely not going to see anything from this, and they decide they're going to take this and just set it on fire every single day.
Well, not set
all new.
Not just set it on fire, but stretch it out over a period of time when they could have handled this in the first 2 months of the administration and moved on from it. It keeps stretching out.
Right. No, that's what I mean. They step outside every day and light the fire every day.
And so we're talking about not the actual situation when it happened years ago, but but the fact that this is ending up like anything else, you're never getting anywhere, and nobody who was actually involved in it is going to be held accountable for it. And I'm talking about outside of Epstein and Giselle.
Right.
Right. And he held accountable for it.
Right.
He's dead, but will anybody else involved in it, in the power brokers, the elite in Washington, D.C., who might have been involved in it, the public will look at it and say, you're not getting anywhere. You can put all this out.
Right.
You're not getting anybody, and all you see is from the Republican Party is this whole rollout and everything. To me, this is actually more damage inside the Republican Party as to the credibility, or not just credibility, but the competency of the Department of Justice under Pam Bondi.
Right. Right.
That's just the reality of it.
Right.
And it's more of a Republican thing going, how could you screw this up?
Because on the whole day of the binders, I thought to myself, when I saw that, I thought, there's got to be something actionable. And then I thought, oh, no, there won't be. There can't be. I mean, seconds into it. And I knew there wouldn't be anything actionable, because if there were anything actionable, the last thing you do is hand over your case files to influencers. You would never do that. That's not going to happen. It tells me the DOJ didn't have something. What we would see instead, if there was something actionable, we would see the announcement of indictments, and then the evidence will be released as we take this through the process, the legal process, not, again, handing case files to, I knew those folders had to be empty, because the last thing you're going to do, either that or Pam Bondi had to be gone that moment. If she's handing over the case files with evidence to influencers, that was the first tell.
Yeah.
That they had nothing.
The what came out of this, to me, is the damage it caused inside the Republican Party, people going, are you people competent? Are we competent to do anything? You had this huge victory, this huge thing, and you turned it into a defeat.
Yeah.
How the hell did you do that?
My gosh.
How did that happen? It's almost as if, and you make a great point, it's almost as if there's a mole inside, or Bondi was a mole, actually a Democrat trying to destroy any credibility in Trump's Department of Justice.
Right.
That's how bad it was.
Right.
Well,
I just have to wonder again, because I think of John Bolton. He's kind of, it's like, all right, is everybody just a mole on the inside shopping a book deal?
No, especially after the Susie Wiles thing. There's a lot of articles on that going, is it the fact that the Republicans in power want to be praised by that was an article, I forgot.
They want to be the darling of the left for the day.
They want to be the darling of the left. They still want the mainstream media approval.
Right.
Because as you saw, no Republican really touched that at all.
Yeah.
They just said, I want to be as far away from Susie Wiles as possible on this one.
Yes.
And everyone, well, we still support her, everything else. And what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's you write that, you're fired as my chief of staff.
You did one interview with Vanity Fair,
right,
and it turns out that way. Then in my mind, you're gone. You did 11. 11.
When did you start becoming a victim? Interviews 8?
Right.
7?
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah. Think about that. Listen, in our last 9 interviews, you talked about, what? What? Seriously.
But these are the kind of things that, when we talk about Elise Stefanik going, I don't know what the competency is of my party anymore, or what the direction is.
No, that's the feeling I got from her announcement.
Know.
That's the feeling I got from her announcement, is that, she's sidelining here. She's just going to, you know what? Time to sit on the bench and wait for this storm, whatever this chaos is, to blow over. Because if you don't know the direction, you don't get in the boat.
We are Red Eye Radio.
Brought to you by FPPF, Fuel Power Max.
Managing time is key. Successful owner-operators know that simply running hard is not enough. If it were that easy, anyone could do the job and expect the profits to roll in. It generally pays to slow down. There is a trade-off in higher costs, not to mention the increased risk for driving fast. If driving slower takes time away from you, you could find some of the ways to get it back. Never take time off during the last 2 weeks of the quarter or the last week of the month, when freight typically is abundant. Sometimes it works to your advantage to look for loads that take you through home rather than to home. The latter can interrupt your revenue stream and require additional time to get back up to full speed again. Owner-Operator Business 101 is provided by Overdrive's Partners in Business program. Go to overdriveonline.com to the Partners in Business section of the website for more details on this and many other topics. Brought to you by Shell Rotella, with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
We are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. In other news, we covered this last week when a prosecutor was talking about in Minnesota, one of the federal prosecutors, about the potential of fraud, and he said, people asked what the extent could be. He goes, $18 billion. Another top prosecutor suggested that the total amount could be $9 billion or more. According to the first Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson, 14 Medicaid services under audit and deemed high risk and fraud have cost the state $18 billion since 2018. He said a substantial amount of the money billed across those programs is fraudulent, but the exact money is still under in investigation. But it seemed like the $9 billion is what so many in the media picked up as to what the actual amount they're talking about that they suspect could be, which would be half of those Medicaid programs.
Right, that half of that $18 billion we talked about. Because last week they were saying, we don't know. It could be up to $18 billion, basically saying we have no idea at that point. And then that $9 billion number hit. And that is incredible. My dad, asking basically like we have been, every time I go see mom and dad and I have our little talk show, our own little talk show in his living room. And he brought that up and he says, how in the world? How in the world? And I said, well, you nurture that with that kind of mentality. You nurture that. And again, they're still saying, if you call this out, you're a bigot, you're a racist, and if there were two things, the culture in that community, but also the COVID culture of these programs that came out, during those years where there was so much fraud. It's just unbelievable. This shouldn't shock anyone. But again, you look at it and go, well, how do you get from, how do you even go from 500 million? I mean, we're talking state level, right? We're talking, these are big numbers when you look at a state. You take $9 billion. How many players are you talking about?
Yeah, and this is where he got it from, where he said, here's a quote, "I don't make these generalizations in a hasty way. When I say significant amount, I'm talking on the order of half or more." So that's where the $9 billion came from.
Right.
Because $18 billion was spent on it. But think about it. On 14 different programs and you have a 50% fraud rate, you're telling me people don't know? People knew.
That's the
People
thing,
knew.
with those state workers saying, look, they knew.
They knew.
But there was, and we know this with the one program where the parents, it was supposed to be a program about special needs kids, and then these parents were getting kickbacks, and then they knew, and then they wanted more kickbacks.
Yeah. So they all knew.
They knew.
They were part of it.
You're listening to Red Eye Radio. Season's greetings from the Uniden America Studios.
And we are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Had to go to the Babylon Bee. I haven't gone there in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
so
right.
I just started looking at some of the things here.
Yeah.
Let me just see here. Where do we go? Ben Shapiro delivers blistering 3-hour AmFest speech in just 17 seconds. Trump.
He can do it.
Trump hard at work coming up with an insulting plaque for Rutherford B. Hayes. You saw that story about it.
Yeah.
He's got comments and
Yeah.
below the plaques of the presidents. It's
Right.
Trump eases marijuana restrictions after reviewing extensive research by Dr. S. Dog.
I love it.
Democrats blast Republicans for trying to put hardworking genital mutilators out of business.
Oh, man. That right there, that is a perfect phrasing because you could hear a liberal actually saying something.
Yeah.
Listen, these are hardworking genital mutilators. How dare the other side used to be for free markets where people could make money. These surgeons are just making money. I mean, that's basically where they are on that. Great job at the Babylon Bee, man. Those guys are A+. They nail it. They just nail it. I want to sit around the room, like the TMZ thing where they all sit around talking.
Yeah.
I want to sit around the Babylon, just not say anything, just listen to them writing and throwing ideas back and
it's
forth.
probably not the same because I always go back and I think of Mad Magazine or what was the other one? The one that Belushi was a part of. What do they call it? Oh, they were all part of it.
I
forgot what it's called. National Lampoon.
National Lampoon.
National Lampoon.
Yeah.
Where they're all sitting around though, drinking and smoking pot.
Wow.
I'm sure that's not what's going on at the Babylon Bee.
I'm guessing not.
I mean, just the fact of just when you think about it, and I always thought about like Mad Magazine because I loved it as a kid. Just what a job that would be, and I thought of this as a kid. What a job it would be just to sit around a room. Now, I wasn't thinking as a kid that the illicit drug use that might be going on there. But I was just sitting around the room, and your only job is with a bunch of other people to do the comedy stuff. But I saw Seinfeld. They asked him what his favorite thing was, during the whole show, sitting around with the writers.
Yeah.
And I did see the one.
Yeah.
By the way, tomorrow, our last show of the year is Festivus.
Oh, it is. That's right. Yeah,
I saw the Jason Alexander podcast, I think from like a week ago or something, where they brought on the writer who actually, if you know the Seinfeld episode Festivus, of the writer whose father actually celebrated Festivus because that came from a real story.
Yeah, right.
That his father, and when you listen to this guy, I can't think of the guy's name, the writer, he's just hilarious because he just goes, well, my father was this, my father was that. He goes through all the stupid things. And he goes, Festivus could be any day of the year.
Right.
His father would just pick out and go, today's Festivus.
Yeah, right.
And there was no aluminum pole.
Right.
Okay, so just so you know, that was made up by the Seinfeld people. But the embarrassment and everything else when George is like, oh, Festivus, he goes, we all felt it in the family. We were just completely and totally embarrassed by it constantly.
Yeah. It's.
But he said sitting around with the writers.
Sitting around creating that. And, it's I've done that actually to a smaller extent, working and doing voices for Hal J on our station WBAP in Texas. And I did that for a decade, doing character voices. And we would write on the fly during commercial breaks and then execute live at the end of every hour when I was doing that. And it was, some of the hardest laughing I've ever done in my life, along with what we do here. It's only matched by what we do here, really. But, I can't imagine being in a room full of writers like that. I'd love to do that. Just witness that at the Babylon Bee for a day or two. It's got to be great.
Yeah, it had to be to do that.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of other stories we have to get here. This one goes right back to Western New York, goes back to New York State, and some of the insanity. And this is another example of how people want to be BS. The whole climate change was people wanting to be BS. The whole alternative energy thing was people wanting to be BS.
Yeah.
It all was.
Right.
Well, what did it get you years later? Parents in Western New York are raising alarms over cold rides and breakdowns after officials mandated that all school bus purchases must be electric by 2027. Local outlet WIVB-TV reported that the law has drawn the anger of parents in the Lake Shore Central School District. By the way, Lake Shore would be south of Buffalo, right where the snow belts begin. So they would get the first.
Wow.
The first snow would be dumped right on them.
Wow.
And the wind comes right in off Lake Erie.
Yeah.
And I mean, big time.
Wow.
The station received several calls over the electric buses, with parents claiming that children are freezing when they come home from school. The district operates 23 electric buses, 23 gasoline buses, and 4 full-size buses. The heaters on the bus run off the same electricity as the bus itself, one parent told the TV station. They were told that it drains the battery capacity of the bus itself, so they turn off the heater so the bus can complete its route.
Gee, I would have never done the math on that. I never would have thought of that, said nobody. I mean, we've known this. It's been the worst complaint about EVs, but especially when you're talking about larger EVs and their ability to hold a charge and get any miles in. And when you're talking about converting buses, hey, listen, it's only kids. It's only children. We don't have to worry about them. Wear a bigger coat.
And the school district still didn't say the kids aren't telling the truth.
Right.
Simply said all routes are planned so that the electric bus battery capacity is more than sufficient to support the route and continuous heating even in winter weather.
Really? Mm-hmm.
We appreciate the efforts of our staff as we navigate our transition to electric buses as required by New York State.
Uh-huh. In order to enhance the heating, they've taught the kids to rub their hands together.
Well, again, the plan, of course, the plan is always the real world is different than delusional plans.
Yes, always. Wow. You know what they could do? Solar panels on the top of the bus, for heaters.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
And then a massive power outage plunged large sections of San Francisco into darkness on Saturday, knocking out electricity to about 130,000 homes and businesses and leaving self-driving cars stalled in the city streets.
Oops.
Pacific Gas and Electric did not immediately say what caused the blackouts to roughly one-third of the utility. The outage darkened large parts of the city's north side. Also, they said at the same time, I want to get to the autonomous vehicles stalled in the middle of the streets, reportedly unable to detect downed traffic lights.
Wow. Yeah.
So if the traffic lights go dark, the autonomous vehicles don't know what to do.
I'm going to tell you how this ends with these autonomous vehicles. Emilio Estevez and others inside of a truck stop surrounded by big rigs that are running themselves. I've seen it. And music from AC/DC playing the whole time. That was a great movie.
And I confronted that here in the last week. I went up to the intersection, the lights were out. I'm telling you, the human beings handled it tremendously.
Did they get out of their car and start crying?
No, they everyone stopped, and then the other one go, and then stop, and then if two people came up, you let the person on the right go first, and so it was like I was watching it going, because I was about 4 or 5 cars behind. I went, okay, let me see if anybody tries to cheat here. Nobody tried to cheat. Everybody did exactly what was right.
Right.
And I went, okay, everybody followed the rules and regulations.
Right.
And even though the signals were there and completely dark, they weren't even flashing, because a lot of times when they go down, they'll just, flash the red lights so everybody stops.
Right. Yeah.
It was just dark, and everybody knew what to do.
Well, good. In a few places here in the States, we have roundabouts. You know what roundabouts are, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're not good at roundabouts. I had to go through one this weekend. Nobody gets it. No, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of an always stop or always yield. Nobody gets it.
I go through one I'll go through it again on Wednesday going to my dad's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it really
luckily
is.
There's not a lot of traffic.
You just need to, basically, as you're approaching the roundabout, just pray. That's what you need to do. Because it just seems like nobody could do this. I was at a traffic light that was blinking a couple of weeks ago. That also went out, and it was the heat of the afternoon. It was the heat of traffic. I mean, there was traffic everywhere, and it was just. I mean, it's everybody knows the rule, but everybody starts feeling, "Well, I'm more important." Look, I've been waiting in this line longer. It doesn't matter that I'm not next. I need to be next. I mean, it was like, maybe we need autonomous vehicles, because I do believe a significant portion of the American public forgets how to drive sometimes. It's not shocking, but every time I see it, it's as frustrating. So many people texting while they're driving. I mean, I see it, and almost inevitably. It used to be someone swerving. Oh, they've been drinking. Nope, they're sober.
Yeah.
They're texting.
Or trying to hit an app.
Right. Exactly.
I think that's happening a lot more, because I'll have the urge to do it once in a while.
Yeah.
Go up to a stoplight, you're like, let me check this. Oh, no, okay.
Well, my truck, it's a newer vehicle, and on the screen, every once in a while, and it's for liability purposes, really, legally, and so it'll post. It just takes over the screen. Make sure you're focusing while driving, and you have to, in order to clear the screen, you have to look at the screen while driving and hit OK. I mean, you could wait, but who wants to do that? That's no fun.
My older brother just learned how to text about 3 months ago. He's he can use a computer, but he just doesn't even have a smartphone, has a flip phone.
Oh, yeah.
He just doesn't care.
Right.
So, but he learned to text a couple of months ago. And so who does he text? Me. So he's my older brother. So all we do is, by the way, if that ever became public, I'd probably lose my job. Our text back and forth.
Right. Yeah.
But my brother he gets the biggest kick out of, he'll text me, you useless piece of, whatever. I'll get that, good morning, you useless piece of whatever. And I told him one day, I said, when you send that to me, I'm driving, so it comes in a woman's voice. So it's like, good morning, Gary.
Yeah.
You useless piece of manure.
I love it.
From your loving older brother, and he cannot. He's got a relatively new vehicle, but he doesn't have that system in there. Or if he does, he never uses it. But he gets the biggest kick of that. His insults of me come across in this sweet woman voice.
That's actually justice. I love that.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
We are Red Eye Radio.
Lines open for your calls. 866-90-RED-EYE on Red Eye Radio.
And we are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I'm just looking here. I just went to Breitbart, and they got all the sports in Breitbart.
Mm. Mm.
You know, and
Yeah,
where's it? Eagles and Commanders break out in brawl after 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Steelers, DK Metcalf punches Lions fan. It is Christmas week. I mean, all this apparently violence in the NFL, and at least there's one consistent thing.
Yeah. What's that?
The Cowboys are out of the playoffs before Christmas.
Yeah, but you know what? Jerry Jones had a gift for all the fans. The middle finger.
Did you see there was a thing on social media? It was Jerry Jones coming up and all these fans waiting for him.
Yeah.
And he's signing autographs and everything else. And Cowboys fans are going crazy. Why are these fans treating him like he's some great celebrity?
Yeah.
We haven't been to the Super Bowl for 30 years.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
I don't get that either.
I'm a Bills fan. It's never 60 years.
Right. Well,
maybe this year. This is a year.
maybe.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.